Madam Chair, on April 29th, I asked Minister Blair why Lisa Freeman, a constituent of mine, wasn't able to participate in the parole board hearing of her father's murderer. The minister acknowledged the mistake and that victims would now be able to attend via telephone and video conference. Can the minister tell this House how many parole hearings have been made or have been conducted under this digital format with victims since April 29th?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and I thank my honourable colleague for the question, and I'm glad to hear that Minister Blair was able to provide information on the specific case that he raises, and with regards to his question, we're happy to provide it to him in due course.
Mr. Carey.
Madam Chair, on April 29th, the minister said, and I quote, steps have been taken to make it possible for victims to participate in those parole hearings by phone or video conference. If the change has been made, can the minister please tell us how many hearings have victims been able to participate by video conference?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to my colleague, as I said, certainly we will confirm the number of hearings that may have occurred, and with regards to the hearings under the Parole Board of Canada, we want to ensure that victims and others are able to participate in a fair and transparent manner.
Carey.
Madam Chair, the website says, and I quote, to protect the health and safety of the public, offenders, parole board members and staff in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the PBC is currently conducting its hearings remotely via video conference or teleconference. Yet when referring to victim participation, the PBC says it has, quote, implemented technological and procedural enhancements in order to provide victims the ability to participate via telephone. If video conference is an option for staff and inmates, why not victims?
Well, Minister.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as I said, it is very important that all parties are able to participate before the Parole Board. The Parole Board has introduced technologies to allow victims to participate in a manner that is fair and that accords them with the opportunity to express themselves.
Madam Chair, the minister is missing the point. For victims beside the criminal trial, the Parole Board hearings are the only chance to participate in the judicial process. Why are victims not permitted on the video conference while staff, panels, and inmates are?
Honourable Minister.
Madam Chair, as I've said now on a number of occasions, victims are able to participate in the hearings before the Parole Board. This is as a result of technology and innovations introduced by the Parole Board, and of course those opportunities will continue to exist going forward.
Mr. Carey.
And Madam Chair, why did the minister and this government tell Canadians in the House that victims of crime have the opportunity to participate in parole hearings by video conference when in fact they do not?
The Honourable Minister.
Madam Chair, as I've said, of course, we are going to confirm the status of that particular request, but in the meantime, as I've said on a number of occasions, victims are able to participate in these hearings, and this is consistent with the fairness of those hearings and the due process that we accord to them.
The Honourable Mr. Carey.
Madam Chair, it's been over a month. When will the minister finally give victims of crime the same rights to parole hearings via video conference as he gives convicted inmates?
The Honourable Minister.
Madam Chair, I reject that proposition. The Parole Board is a well-established tribunal that does allow for all parties, including victims, to participate in a manner that is fair, that allows them to express themselves so that those representations can be taken into the decisions of the Parole Board of Canada.
Mr. Carey.
So he can reject it as much as he wants, Madam Chair, but it seems that he thinks that it's fair that inmates have that right, but victims don't. So we'll follow up with him on that.